Welcome to SignalTv's Game of the Week, presented by Galpin Subaru in Santa Clarita. This week, we look at Friday's matchup between the Highland Bulldogs and the Canyon Cowboys. Let's get to the action.
Are you ready to do this?
Yeah, let's go.
It is time once again to see what happened and what might happen in Santa Clarita football. Hi everybody, and welcome to the Galpin Subaru Game of the Week show. I'm Dave Caldwell.
And I'm Haley Sawyer. The season is well underway, and there already have been some surprises and a lot to talk about.
Last week, Santa Clarita High School football teams went 5-3, with Saugus and Golden Valley going to 3-0, Hart improving to 2-0. But Haley, it was a tough game for last week's featured team, the Valencia Vikings.
You know, Dave, the Vikings looked so good in that first half of that game. They were even leading 15-14 going into halftime, but coming out on the other side, Valencia made some mistakes on offense and defense. Chaminade capitalized and scored 4 unanswered touchdowns and won the game 42-15.
This week's Galpin Subaru Game of the Week is the Canyon Cowboys, 2-1 on the season and coming off a 7-point win over Oxnard, hosting the 1-1 Highland Bulldogs. Highland had an impressive win over Thousand Oaks last Friday, 32-14, and played a strong Loyola Cubs team tough in a 24-15 Week 1 loss. Haley had a chance to visit the Canyon practice earlier this week.
The Cowboys are coming off a victory against Oxnard, but it wasn't as clean of a win as they hoped.
So ultimately, when I went back and actually reflected back on the game, I told the boys that we had to work on our penalties. There was kind of like some that were just shouldn't happen during a game.
Like, I really want to carry guys that are 1 and 2 deep.
This year's Cowboys squad features a very balanced offense. They have quarterback Miles Fallon and wide receiver Camden Apse. They also have running back Henry Ariano. We had the chance to catch up with Henry on a windy Monday afternoon.
It's really going well. Me, Devereaux, Taylor Tevasano, we've been doing really good, and the front five have been amazing.
Our O-line has been communicating really well with each other, and it seems like their chemistry is getting a lot stronger. So when you have, 5 young men actually making an impact up front, I think it opens up holes for your running backs.
To keep from making the same mistakes as last Friday, the team is dedicating more time to conditioning.
We've been pushing more running to everything, every spot we have to run, and we do more running now to make sure we don't gas out like we did.
Go.
Highland, who defeated Thousand Oaks last week, has a strong running game, but players feel up to the challenge.
The fact that they run more than they pass was pretty interesting to me, of how they run down the middle almost 75% of the time.
You want to run faster.
Canyon's physical play is important this week, but it's even more critical to keep a level head in game.
So for us, it's just a mental toughness kind of scenario. So I just tell the boys they have to buckle down and get ready to go.
Now, when you talk about the Cowboys having a balanced offense, you can't forget about their offensive line. They have 3 guys next to each other who have 3 years of varsity experience apiece. So those are the people who are really going to be opening up those holes and creating opportunities for players like Henry Ariano to really make some moves.
Well, and every running back and quarterback is going to know a great experienced offensive line is what they're going to absolutely need. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll give you more on the Bulldogs versus the Cowboys, and we'll also show you the entire lineup of games coming up this weekend as the Galpin Subaru Game of the Week show continues.
Galpin Subaru in Valencia is proud to bring you the SignalTv Game of the Week, sponsored by Jersey Mike's of Santa Clarita and the Valencia and Canyon Country Car Wash.
We are Santa Clarita Flooring, the fun place to shop for your home, and we are having our biggest sale ever! That's right. Save up to 40% on Santa Clarita's largest selection of flooring.
Carpet from only 99 cents. Hardwood, $3.99. Laminate, only $1.99. And porcelain tile, $1.49. Call us today and schedule a free in-home estimate before September 17th, and I'll give you an additional $100 off your purchase. Plus, qualify for up to $1,000 in rebates.
Voted the best flooring center in Santa Clarita for 2 years in a row, Santa Clarita Flooring is the fun way to shop for your home. Located near IHOP at 26111 Bouquet Canyon Road. Santa Clarita Flooring's biggest sale ever. One day only, September 17th.
Free refreshments and more.
Join us September 17th for our biggest sale ever.
See you then.
Welcome back to the Galpin Subaru Game of the Week show here on SignalTv. We're talking about the Canyon Cowboys against the Highland Bulldogs Friday night at Harry Welch Stadium.
And as we said, the Bulldogs are 1-1 in 2 games against very good teams. A win over Thousand Oaks and a 9-point loss to Loyola. This team loves to run the ball. In their first 2 games, Highland had only thrown the ball 10 times, but Haley, they ran it 61 times.
A lot of running, and it's the Bulldogs running back, Kamaje Tippin, leading all carriers with 333 yards and 3 touchdowns in his first 2 games. He gets more than half the total carries and has gained more than 60% of the yards on the ground. Canyon coach Rich Gutierrez knows his team has momentum with 2 wins in a row, and he knows that stopping that ground attack is the best way to keep that going.
One thing I teach the boys all the time is you have to make a stop on that first down to make it more difficult, particularly when you're going against a running team. Only because then they're going to have to go to something that's foreign to them. It could be the pass game, but I think when you have a grinded out type team, it shows the physicality of the team. So you have to be able to perform and stay on your toes.
And Canyon is really working on their conditioning, and hopefully that shows on Friday night. I talked to 2 different linebackers on practice on Monday, and both of them emphasized how the defense is just going to have to be really aggressive when it comes to Fridays. Henry Ariano compared it to playing like you're going downhill. To put it in perspective for you guys, Highland usually runs the ball down the middle, but these guys are going to be ready for anything.
The conditioning is right, and that means speed and quickness are going to be essential. Let's turn our attention to the other games happening this week, with action happening not 1, not 2, but 3 nights this week.
Yeah, Dave, it actually starts with Thursday night football as the Golden Valley Grizzlies look to go 4-0 as they host the Agora Chargers. Golden Valley has done it mostly on the ground, as KJ Maduke now has 361 yards and 4 touchdowns in his first 3 games. The Chargers are 0-3 but have played against some tough teams like Calabasas, Newbury Park, and El Camino Real.
It's a battle of unbeatens Friday night as Saugus will host the Ventura Cougars at, ironically enough, right here, Cougar Stadium. Ventura has impressive wins over Thousand Oaks, Atascadero, and Rio Mesa, with Cougars running back Brock Mortensen averaging 188 yards per game on the ground. Saugus quarterback Nathan Eldridge counters that with better than 236 yards of total offense per game for the Centurions.
Hart travels up to the desert to take on an Antelope Valley team that is coming off a win over West Ranch. The Indian fans want to see another 33-point half orchestrated by Hart quarterback Nick Moore, who threw for nearly 300 yards last Friday. Antelope Valley was shut up by Golden Valley in their first game of the season.
The Vikings need to take what they learned in their 27-point loss to Chaminade Friday and apply it to their game Friday at home against Newbury Park. The Panthers are 3-0, ranked 4th in Division III, and coming off a 22-point fourth quarter come-from-behind victory to beat Westlake last week.
West Ranch needs to erase the memory of 3 first-half turnovers and giving up a touchdown with 22 seconds left to play in last Friday's loss to Antelope Valley. They have the chance to do so against Thousand Oaks this week. Sophomore Jovan Camacho is looking to continue a strong campaign in his first year on varsity. He recovered a fumble for a touchdown in last week's game to get the Wildcats some momentum.
Santa Clarita Christian is still looking for their first win of the season as they'll be hosting the 1-1 Gabrielino Eagles Saturday night. The Cardinals' offense has averaged just 13 points per game in those first 3 contests, while the defense has allowed better than 28. The Eagles are coming off a 49-0 blowout win over Mark Keppel.
Trinity is looking to build off its first win of the season when they traveled to Playa del Rey to take on the Vikings of St. Bernard. The Vikings have given up 56 points while only scoring 3 in their last 2 games. The Knights have also given up 56 points in their last 2 games, but scored 26 in their win over Century last week.
Turning to junior college football, the College of the Canyons Cougars have won their first 2 home games by an average of 18 points, but now must go on the road to Fullerton College to take on the Hornets. Fullerton is also 2-0 with big wins over Santa Ana and Cerritos, but both of those wins were on the road.
That's our look at what's happening this weekend in SCV football here on the Galpin Subaru Game of the Week show. Remember to check SignalSCV.com Friday night for up-to-the-minute coverage of every game.
You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter by just searching Signal Sports. Next week, our Galpin Subaru Game of the Week will feature the St. Bonaventure Seraphs taking on the Hart Indians.
For Dave Caldwell and our entire Signal TV team, I'm Haley Sawyer, and I'll see you at the game.